Hello, renewers. Since this is typically about some news that deals with Renew, we should just call the segment Renews. So welcome to Renews. I'm Greg Boyd, your host for today's Renews. A couple of things I want to update you on. One is that we are very close, and I mean weeks, away from launching this map that we've been talking about. We got 170 suggested names from people on Twitter, and we've narrowed those down to two, and we're still fighting over those two. But for all intents and purposes, it's done. This site's going to be so awesome. This is going to be so great. I want to say it's going to be huge, but that word's getting a little overused these days. On this map, people are going to be able to register themselves and see who else is in their vicinity who shares some of the distinctive kingdom convictions that is characterizing the folks in this rising revolution. You'll be able to search for groups and or house churches that are in your region or anywhere in the world if you want. And we're also going to list organizations that subscribe to the kind of convictions that this revolution is about and that are there to help resource people. And on this map, you'll be able to text message anybody who's open to being text messages. You have to put in there what you're willing to, whatever information you want to share. But you can make contact with people and contact with groups. And our hope is that this, and it's a global map, so it will apply to anybody living anywhere in the world. You could be in the Antarctic, and if there's a kingdom person in your area, like within 10,000 miles, you'll be able to find them. So I really think this is going to be really helpful on networking this movement together. People starting to just make contact with one another and forming communities out of that. So it's beautiful. A second piece of information is this. I don't know if you ever knew this or not, but a number of years ago, I'm thinking 8-9 years ago, I and some friends of mine started on a project. And the project was a book that I've always been kind of an amateur, scientist. I like to read up on science. I'm not a scientist, but I like to read on it. I think it's just cool. I love quantum physics and chaos theory, complexity theory, non-equilibrium thermodynamics, relativity theory. I love stuff like that. And so I wanted a book that would show how each of those branches of science, quantum physics, chaos theory, etc., are pointing in the direction of an open future, are pointing in the direction of reality being having an indeterminate, spontaneous quality to it, and human beings having free will. But I wanted it to be a book that wasn't like all heady and stuff. We don't need another academic book on this. I wanted kind of a fun book. And so what we did is make like a graphic novel, a book that has pictures on every page. We take these branches of science and chunk it down to the lowest kind of level you can get it, make it very understandable to non-specialists. And it's all done as a dialogue between me and my friends and some other folks. Sometimes it's me talking to Einstein or me talking to, some scientists, Copenhagen, whatever. And so it's called The Cosmic Dance. Now, it took a long time to make this book because, this isn't the actual size, by the way. This is just a working manuscript. It'll be a normal size book. But it calls Cosmic Dance, What Science Can Teach Us About the Nature of Time, Life, God, and Humpty Dumpty. Yes, it's a funky book. It took a long time to make it, and then it got delayed because once we had 200 pages with all these pictures on it, a lot of Photoshop stuff, we found out we needed to get copyrights for some of this stuff. And so we got into a legal bind, and we've had anyways, all that's now settled. And so the book is coming together. We're not sure how we're going to distribute this, sell it, or make it available to people who make donations or whatever. But it's going to be available. I think you're going to like it a lot. Like here's one picture, for example, of Julie Ross, a friend of mine, talking to her daughter in a rocket ship, and we're illustrating Einstein's theory of relativity. And Julie's concerned because she's getting, she's shrinking. She's getting fatter and fatter, thicker and thicker, because that's what happens when you approach the speed of light. And then later on, she's worried because her clock is slowing down, her time clock in the rocket. But then Sierra says to her, "No, Mom, you're the one slowing down." You see, it's just illustrating relativity theory at its best. Anyways, there you go. The map is coming. The book is coming. A lot of good things are coming. God bless you guys. Talk to you next month. Bye-bye.